afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to Northern Burlington County Regional High School. I'm Mr. James Dowd. I'm joined by broadcasting students Mr. Kyle Forsini and Mr. Decker Morrow. It is Tuesday, February 13th, 2018, as the Northern Burlington Greyhounds take on the Pemberton Hornets in a great local matchup. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing great, Mr. Dowd. Good to be back with you guys again for another boys basketball game against a Pemberton team that the Hounds should beat. So hopefully we can see them get a W tonight.
Yeah, we've done a few of these games this year, and I'm excited to see Northern potentially get another win. We've won most of the games that we've done as a group, and I'm excited to see another one.
Now, the Greyhounds are led by head coach Mr. Gene Darling. He is a health and physical education teacher here at the farm, and he has a lot of head coaching experience. He's been head coach of the basketball team, as well as head coach of the girls volleyball team, assistant coach for football, assistant coach for baseball, and he's joined by his assistant coaches, Mr. Kenny Moss, Mr. Steve Malcolm, and Mr. Zach Westerberg. And they've got this team playing some pretty good basketball this season at 14-7, and that was a big three-pointer there by the Hornets.
Yeah, Northern had scored the first points of the game on a nice little hook shot there from underneath by number 3, Anthony Thomas, and that's something he's very good at. He's a good shooter once he gets down low, and he's very good at finishing and making some good contested layups. So we'll look for the Hounds to try and utilize him in that aspect tonight and also get their three-point shooters, Josh Jackson, Cleafton Lewis, and Ezra Jones involved as well.
Yeah, as the season's come along, we've started to see more of this Northern team show their talents, so that's going to be a deep three that's going to be missed. Pemberton's going to recover the ball and take it the other way. But we've seen Northern's talent start to show up more as the season's gone along. But it's going to be a little bit of a slow start in this one as Pemberton jumps out to the early 5-2 lead.
Northern is led by senior Josh Jackson. He averages about 18 points per game. And as you said, Kyle, he's joined by fellow seniors Leaf Lewis, who averages about 12 points per game, Anthony Thomas, who averages 12 points per game, and a lot of other seniors as well, including Sam Irvin, Ezra Jones, Carson Johnson, Zymir Davis. And they also get some really good play from juniors DeAndre Pearson, Xavier Dukes, sophomores Lorenzo Repack, and Jake Frick. So they've got, multifaceted attack here. And despite being down early, still anybody's game. Great rebound there by the Hornets.
Yeah, Mr. Dowden, this is a Hounds team that's already surpassed their win total from last year when they went 13-13. But either way, they've got 14 wins now on this season, and they've really played together well as a team. Josh Jackson kind of said it, and a lot of the other guys have said it as well, that this team has just bonded really well together, and they've played really well together as a team, and they've gelled, and the record's really been able to show it.
Yeah, coming into this season, we thought it was going to be pretty much just a one-man attack from Josh Jackson, but I think this team started to gel and play better ball as they formed up into a team. But Pemberton's hit the 3 early this game. That's 2 threes already to give them an 8-4 lead.
The Greyhounds have had some big wins this year, as you guys talked about. They beat Delran in their home opener. They've also defeated teams like Palmyra, Willingboro, Robbinsville, BCIT, Pennsauken, and they also have defeated Bordentown, who was their division rival. Now, the Hounds are coming off 3 losses in a row, including a tight loss to RV by 1 point and a recent away game at Bordentown. And they just lost yesterday to Morristown, which was a tough loss. Morristown is the number 1 seed in their bracket, but the Hounds still have plenty of basketball to play here, and they're also going into the playoffs as well. Seeding was announced a couple weeks ago, and they're going to be having a home game very soon versus Burlington Township. So looks like that was Pemberton sinking the free throw there. Hounds currently down 11-4 with just under 5 minutes to play here in the first quarter.
And Mr. Dowd, I was actually at all 3 of those losses you had just mentioned against RV, Bordentown, and Morristown, and the Hounds were in every single one of those games. There are 3 losses on the stat sheet, and on the season it goes down as a loss. But there were games that they just as easily could have won. They were beaten by 1 by RV and only by about 6 by Bordentown. And the Morristown game was just the same way. Morristown kind of pulled away with it in the final minutes of the game, but throughout the entirety of that game, Northern was right with them the entire way. So it's definitely a very good team that Northern has this year, as that shot by Lorenzo Repack is just off the mark, but Sam Irvin drives in, and no foul called there on that one. And Pemberton's going to try and advance on the fast break here and put up some more points.
Nice defensive recovery there by Northern as they're going to give it right back up. It's going to be a 13-4 lead for Pemberton early, but we've seen Northern have to come back from deficits before, as we're going to get a timeout right now.
This is the team in the Greyhounds, guys, as we are about halfway through the first quarter, that seems to struggle a little bit in first quarters. They're very often getting outscored, whether it's on the road or at home. They start slow, but then they definitely pick it up in the second and third quarter, and there's Josh Jackson going right to the basket. You like to see that aggression here, trying to get the boys back into the game.
Well, yeah, it's a good move there by him, Mr. Dowd. He's a good free throw shooter, and he understands that the team is down. They're down 9 points right now, so he knows that he's got to try and create something in there, and driving to the hoop and getting a foul call is something that's going to help the Hounds as he makes the first free throw there.
Yeah, once you know you're down by quite a bit, it's kind of important sometimes to draw those fouls, get into the paint, make some easy points, like we just saw on this drive to the hoop. So Northern's going to try to work their way back into this game now, only down by 7 instead of down by 9 like they were before.
And the Hounds certainly have home court advantage today. They've been playing pretty well at home. They're 5-3 at home. They're 9-4 on the road, and they've got a great turnout of fans, friends, families, and community members here on hand at the farm. Now, if Josh Jackson can continue his average, he has a chance to get to the 1,000-point milestone, which would be a great accomplishment for him. We still have a couple more games on the docket, but if he can continue his 18-point-per-game average, including today, he's got a chance to get to that milestone when Northern plays Burlington Township on February 26th, which is a home game, the first game of the playoff bracket. And Northern has played Township really tough this year. They've played 2 games. They won a game by 2. They lost a game by 3. And coincidentally enough, our girls basketball team will also be playing on the same day, February 26th. And that's another home game versus Hopewell Valley. So we'd love for our fans to come out. I'm sure one of the games will be at the middle school. One of the games will be at the high school. That was a great play there by Anthony Thomas. Looks like he's going to get fouled driving to the lane.
And just like I touched on earlier, Ann Thomas there going for the contested layup. He's not afraid to take the contact, right, just as he did right there. Draws a foul, and he's going to go to the line and shoot too.
We didn't used to think of him as a shooter, but he's been able to shoot a little bit better more recently in the season, as he's going to miss the first free throw there, but can still get one to go down by 6. And he's going to miss the second one as well. It's a hard-fought rebound for Northern.
Ezra Jones with a nice play there, but it's going to end up being a jump ball. And it's going to be Northern ball here, even better. So the Hounds are going to be able to reset here on offense, try and get something going here, and cut this 7-point lead here.
Big three-pointer there by the Hounds, cutting into this lead, currently down 11-15. Now this is the team in the Hounds. They score about 57 points per game. They give up about 54, so they're basically in every single game. And, you know, it always has special meaning when these two teams play, Pemberton and Northern, not just in basketball, but in football and basically every other sport, as both these schools, Pemberton and Northern, are home to our military families at the joint base. So it always has significance whenever these two teams play, and certainly we're rooting for a good game, and looks like we've got one here with just over 2.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter.
And it's not the first quarter we would have expected here, as that was a great look there by Josh Jackson, but Ann Thomas was just unable to convert. Not the first quarter you would have expected with Northern playing a team like Pemberton. You kind of thought that they would have been able to jump on them early and try and keep pulling away with the lead. But instead, it's been Pemberton who's been hot lately. With a 6-point lead here with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, they've played extremely well, making some shots from downtown and then also doing what they just did there, running the fast break and getting good opportunities at layups. So it's the Hounds who are going to be coming from behind here, at least for the remainder of this first quarter, and we'll look for them to try and get back on track here and start pulling away from this game.
Doesn't take much to get back on track. They're going to call that, I think, an offensive foul against Sam Irvin, who's one of the more physical players for this Northern team. Looks like that one's going to go against him, however. But Northern can easily get back in this game. It takes a couple defensive stops, a couple turnovers on defense, and they can find themselves right back in it.
Sam Irvin is a very talented three-sport athlete, actually, here at the farm. He's a contributing member of the football team this season, and obviously starter on the varsity basketball team. Also is quite the pitcher on the varsity baseball team. So Northern's got some really good athletes there on the court, and it looks like they are going to sit Irvin for a few minutes as Carson Johnson has checked in here for the Greyhounds. With Pemberton going to the line, currently up 17-11 with 1 minute 40 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Mr. Dowd, baseball is his number one sport, but he's certainly excelled here at Northern as a three-sport athlete in his senior year. That's something really cool for him, and it's good to see, a kid to be that athletic, to go out there and pursue all three sports.
So Pemberton missed the first one at the line, and they're going to convert on the second. It's a 7-point lead for Pemberton as they've started to pull away once more.
And great pass there by Leaf Lewis. Looks like we're going to get a foul call there on Pemberton, and Anthony Thomas is going to go back to the line. Leaf Lewis actually leads the team in three-pointers made this season, so he's definitely one of the sharpshooters on the team. And just recently, actually, Captain Josh Jackson was named to the New Jersey North-South All-Star team, which is a great accomplishment. That event will take place at Rider University on March 17th. Tip-off for that is at noon. That actually has the top players in all of New Jersey, not just Burlington County. So that's a great accomplishment for him, and we wish him the best of luck. And Thomas is going to go try to sink this second shot here and cut into this lead.
That's definitely a great accomplishment for Josh, Mr. Dowd, and we're going to wish him the best of luck in that game as Ant Thomas knocks down the second free throw there. Cutting the Pemberton lead now to 6. It's kind of the closest Northern's been able to get for this entire game. They've never really been able to claw within 6 points of the lead. Still really early, and like you said, Decker, we've seen this team come from behind multiple times, as it's going to be a foul there on Northern, and Pemberton's going to go to the line to shoot too. But Pemberton's kind of been able to do that so far in this game. They've been able to drive in the paint and force the Hounds to foul and get some of their good players, some fouls early. So Pemberton's approach here is trying to get the Hounds in some foul trouble here at the end of the first quarter.
They've done a good job of that as of late, getting a few fouls called against Northern, making them play some of their backups. Looks like that's going to be a perfect free throw. He's now 1 for 1. It's 19-12, Pemberton lead. They're looking for their second free throw right now.
And certainly the Hornets have been the aggressors here in the first quarter, as you guys said, doing a great job getting to the line. They've made a couple three-pointers and a couple of layups, and they're currently in the lead 20-12. But as we said, Northern's really a second quarter, third quarter team. They really put the pedal to the metal in those quarters. Despite starting slow, still very much in this one. And it looks like Carson Johnson's going to drive to the basket. Just going to be off the mark, but got foul called there, so going to go to the line, try to cut into this lead.
And you just hope this kind of doesn't go down as what a lot of people would call a trap game, with the Hounds playing a team that they really know that they should beat, and coming off of 3 games where they did lose, but they played great opponents in every game. You don't want to kind of overlook this one and say, oh, well, you should win this game, and not really even think about it and look forward to the next, which isn't something I would suspect the Hounds would do. They're certainly a team that's come out and played hard every game, and they've beaten the teams that they should beat. So I would expect the Hounds to kind of get back on track here as this game goes on, as Johnson makes the second free throw to cut this lead to 7.
Yeah, but on a 3-game losing streak deep into your season, it's kind of difficult to get yourself back up for some of these games against weaker opponents. So you could see the slow start happening. That's going to be a turnover for Pemberton, and maybe Northern can use this to cut into the 7-point lead before the end of the first quarter.
Now Pemberton has struggled this season. They're currently 2-18 on the season. They've actually lost 3 in a row as well. And they started the season with a 12-game losing streak, but they had some big wins versus Delran and Woodrow Wilson, and they're getting some really good play by their leading scorer, Sean Zay Blackman, who averages about 11 points per game. That was a great shot there by Ezra Jones, cutting into this lead. And they also get contributing play from Philip Russell, who averages about 9 points per game. So they've got quite the 1-2 punch here, and Northern's looking to maybe put one more on the board here before the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, it looks like with no shot clock, Pemberton's going to try and keep this ball in their possession before the first quarter ends. And the Hounds are doing some good defense here, not letting Pemberton get to the basket. But looks like it's going to be a foul called there on Pemberton, and Northern's going to get the ball. So with that being said, with 9.4 seconds left here in the first quarter, the Hounds are going to have an opportunity to try and cut this lead down from 5, which is kind of a big step in the right direction. They've been trailing this entire first quarter, but if they can get a basket here on the final possession, it certainly give them a lot of confidence here going into the second quarter.
Yeah, they've got the ball in the hands of who they want it to be in. That's going to be 2 more for JJ. The lead's cut down to 3 at the end of the first.
So very advantageous play there with under 10 seconds. Northern got the possession, and Josh Jackson worked his magic. Dribble drive penetration made the basket there to cut into this lead. And this is really the closest that Northern's been so far since the opening moments.
Yeah, some great play there by the Hounds at the end of the first quarter. Getting some confidence back as sophomore Lorenzo Repack is going to make the three ball there. A great shot from him. It's something that he's really excelled at this year, and he's shown the coaches that he deserves to be out there just as much as anybody else. And that's what you want to see out of your young talent. When you've got a team that's predominantly seniors, you don't really know what your future is going to behold. But with Repack being out there and showing that he can contribute, especially as young of a player as he is, it's a good sign for years to come.
So Pemberton's going to stop the 7-0 Northern run, and JJ's going to get the ball back, looking to potentially get Northern's first lead of the game since that 2-0 start.
And Anthony Thomas there with a quick putback, tying this game once again at 22. Just under 7 minutes to play here. Now, Pemberton is actually a team that plays Northern really tough. Last year, the Hornets were 12-15. They had a 4-point win versus Northern, and they had a 5-point loss. So, as I said earlier, these two teams really come out competitive against each other. And 2 years ago, actually, Northern set their single-season wins record, and the Hornets defeated Northern in the sectional semifinals. That season, 2015-2016, the Hornets were 21-10, and they went on to beat Ewing to win the sectional title. So, despite them struggling this year, this is certainly a team that comes to play the Hounds competitively.
And like you had said, Mr. Dowd, with Pemberton being as good as they were 2 years ago, these are two teams that are kind of headed in the opposite direction. The Hounds look like they're on the upswing, and Pemberton being 2-18, when just 2 years ago they were 21-10, it certainly looks like their program has not been nearly as good as it was that year, but obviously not an opponent you want to take lightly, as Josh Jackson's going to draw the foul, but just missed the open layup there. So he's going to go to the line and shoot two and try and get the Hounds back with the lead here in this game. Like you said, Decker, they really haven't had a lead since they were up 2-0 early in this game.
Yeah, but it seemed like that lead was never safe. Pemberton was just trying to run away as Northern was slowly closing, and that's going to be Northern's first lead in a long time at 23-22. And make that 24-22. JJ sinks both of them. He's got 4 points in this quarter, I believe.
Yeah, and affectionately known as JJ, Josh Jackson has done a great job. And it actually looks like Northern's got, sort of a smaller lineup in here as Pemberton sinks that one to tie the game once again with Jackson, Repack, Thomas, Johnson on the court there. And it looks like they're giving their big guys some rest. But certainly still a tough game. And that's going to be a blocking foul there on the Greyhounds.
This is a team that's really kind of lacks height. When Sam Irvin's not out there on the court, this isn't a team that's really that big. But they've got some shooters out there, and they do play pretty solid defense even though their height isn't there, and they're scrappy with rebounding. They're able to get in on the boards and box out really well, as Pemberton's going to miss that free throw there, which is good for the Hounds. But like I was saying, they're still going with that smaller lineup here, but we'll see on this second free throw if he doesn't make it how well Northern does at boxing out and just trying to get boards with their smaller guys.
Pemberton's going to miss both this time, as Northern's going to go try to take the lead once more. We've really seen Pemberton try to take advantage of their height advantage in the last couple minutes, as they've been trying to penetrate the paint to get back up into this game. But Northern's been able to hold on, keep it tied 24-24. It's a deep three that doesn't get made. And they're going to get the ball back once more.
Looked like a big block there by the Hornets, but like to see the aggression there by the Greyhounds. Now you can keep up with all Northern's boys basketball action on Twitter at NBC_boys b-ball, and you can keep up with all Northern sports on Twitter at NBC_athletics, and that's run by our athletic director, Dr. Dan Uzaki. Does a great job keeping everybody plugged in. Big three-pointer there by the Greyhounds, just off the mark, but Repack's there for the quick rebound.
Looked like he tried to get a pass back out, but it might have been a kickball there on Pemberton. Josh Jackson's going to be here to inbound it. The Hounds looking to try and take over the lead again. They had a brief 24-22 lead, but Pemberton was able to tie it back up. And we'll see what the Hounds can draw up here on offense. You see Josh Jackson start with the ball up top a lot. He's probably one of their best ball handlers, and they certainly feel really confident when they got the ball in his hands. And he proves me right there as he's able to drain a three from downtown just above the arc, give the Hounds a 3-point lead. And he is a very good shooter. He's been really good all season and really good his entire high school career here for Northern. And he puts the Hounds up 3 here with 4.5 minutes to go in this first half.
It's going to be the second traveling violation of the game for Pemberton. Seems like in this second quarter they've been carelessly turning it over a little bit with a couple offensive fouls, a couple turnovers. And that's been what's enabled Northern to get right into this game and take the lead. They're going to bring it up slower now, knowing they've got the lead, and looking to set up more plays to just start to walk away with this game. That's going to be an easy look. That's going to be missed and rebounded by Pemberton.
Great shot attempt there by number 3, Anthony Thomas, just off the mark. And Pemberton's looking to tie this one right back with a three-pointer. Going to be off the mark, but quickly rebound and put back in as they cut into this lead, 27-26 here with just over 4 minutes to play. Josh Jackson now in command of the offense. He's going to drive right to the basket and sink that one, put Northern up 3.
And that was a good fast break play there by Josh Jackson. And this is a Northern team that can kind of do both styles of offense. They can slow it down and get some good plays run, or they can do what they've done there on the last 2 possessions, drive right down and score before your defense can even get set. And that's kind of a multifaceted attack that you want to see for the Hounds. And it's certainly a good way to put up points as they've now claimed a 5-point lead here over Pemberton. As looked like the Hornets were getting a little careless with the ball there, but the Hounds weren't able to claim it. And Pemberton's going to look to try and drive there against the shorter lineup of the Hounds. They are able to make the basket, and looks like he was fouled there on the way in. And Decker, you had alluded to it earlier. Pemberton knows that they've kind of got a bigger lineup in there than the Hounds do, and when they try and drive the ball into the paint, they know that if they get it to their big man, the Hounds really have nobody who can stop them, and they're able to create a lot of fouls.
Yeah, it seems like Pemberton's just been driving down the lane whenever they don't turn the ball over in this second quarter, but that's been their biggest problem as Northern's been able to create a lead, is that Pemberton just can't really hold on to the ball. Sloppy play, and it's generated a small lead for Northern, but they can't fall asleep now that they've got it.
And as I said, this smaller lineup in here for the Greyhounds with Jackson, Repack, Karsten Johnson, Anthony Thomas in there has done a great job on transition. That's certainly been one of their strengths all season, but certainly this quarter as they have the lead now against the Hornets. And that one's going to go out of bounds. Great defensive effort there. This has certainly been a great game, and it's certainly been an exciting program here on Northern TV. And you can check out Northern TV for a lot of other exciting programming, including girls basketball, our winter high school and middle school concerts, as well as our flagship show, The Northern News. We also have an informative video on FFA Week, as well as an informative video on our upcoming bond referendum vote, which is coming up this March. Now you can check this game out on Northern TV. You can follow Northern TV on Twitter at Northern_TV. We're also on Comcast Channel 19, Verizon Channel 42. We're streaming on the web. We have our YouTube channel, and we also have our Northern TV app at appcatch.com. And you can check that out for all kinds of exciting things about Northern, DVD sales, program information, sponsorship opportunities, and much more.
Northern just came out with the big lineup again, put Sam Irvin back in, and Pemberton turned the ball over running into him. It's kind of exactly what we were seeing earlier, is that Pemberton was trying to penetrate the paint, and this time they just can't now that Northern's got the big lineup in once more. Looking to open up the lead. They're already up by 3. Irvin's going to make a layup, make that a 5-point lead for Northern with 2 minutes left.
But again, for those just tuning in, I'm Mr. James Dowd. I'm joined by broadcasting students Mr. Kyle Forsini, Mr. Decker Morrow. We are here live at the farm. It is Tuesday, February 13th, as the Northern Burlington Greyhounds take on the Pemberton Hornets.
Now they're going to try and drive in, and they were unable to convert there as this It's hard to get up over a big man like that in Sam Irvin when you're trying to drive in the paint.
Yeah, we actually did a production, guys, earlier in the season. That was the boys basketball win versus Palmyra. And in that game, Sam Irvin had 15 points to go along with Josh Jackson, who had 23. You can check that game out on Northern TV on our YouTube page, as well as many other exciting games, including tough loss versus Cinnaminson, girls basketball versus Willingboro, and much, much more. So Northern in the driver's seat here, 33-28, just over a minute to play. Josh Jackson's going to pull up for three. It's going to be off the mark. Great rebound there by Carson Johnson, but it looks like they're going to call an offensive foul there. And the Hornets are going to get possession.
Yeah, a good rebound there by Johnson, but an offensive foul going to be called on him, so it'll be a turnover there for the Hounds. And they'll give Pemberton the ball back with 1 minute and 5 seconds left here. Left in the first half. The Hornets are down 5, and we'll see what kind of offense they can create here to try and close this gap before the first half ends.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that last offensive possession for Northern was. Josh Jackson kind of just stood for a little bit, and they ended up getting nothing out of it as Pemberton's going to close the lead. I think if Northern would just do what they've been doing the last couple minutes, which is trying to find the easy look for a layup, they'd probably be able to just walk away with it right before halftime. But they're playing a little slower, and some of the coaches like to see. They'll hold on to the ball, being careful, making good choices. Now there's about 30 seconds left in the first half. Josh Jackson's going to go up for the layup. There's going to be a foul, but he missed it.
Yeah, so a foul called off the ball there on the Hornets, and the Hounds are going to inbound. So we'll have another opportunity here to set up a play, set up something on offense. They're probably going to hold the ball here before the first half, before the first half ends. They're not going to give Pemberton an opportunity to try and score. With no shot clock here in high school, the Hounds will be able to control this entire last possession as Josh Jackson makes a good move, and he wants to try and score early. On off the mark, but a good rebound there by Sam Irvin. Letting the Hounds try and figure something out here before this half ends, and looking for Jackson in the corner for three at the buzzer is just off the mark. And a bucket right before the half ends. And that's a great basket there for the Hounds.
So big play there to end the first half by the Greyhounds. Basket at the buzzer, putting them up 5. That's the second quarter in the row they've gotten points at the buzzer, and every little bit helps. Looks like they've got a lineup of Leaf Lewis, Josh Jackson, Sam Irvin, Anthony Thomas, and Ezra Jones back in. The starting lineup's back in here in this tight matchup versus the Pemberton Hornets, and Pemberton's going to go right to the basket. Try to cut into this lead. It's going to be just off the mark, and Thomas with a great rebound.
That was a nice buzzer beater in the last possession of the first half. That's a backbreaker for the defense, too, because you think you've made multiple stops on that possession alone, and Northern still came up with 2 points right before the buzzer to pull away slightly to a 5-point lead. That's going to be a deep three. That is nothing but net. Make that an 8-point lead for Northern.
And that's a nightmare for Pemberton if they're going to see Ezra Jones get going. He's the shooter when he gets hot. He doesn't miss. And he knocks down a 3 here to extend Northern to its biggest lead of the game here with 8 points at the start of the third quarter. And all things seem to be going right here for the Hounds against a 2-18 Pemberton Hornets team that they should beat. And they're starting to really start working well as a team here in this game and pull away with this one.
And they really came to life there in the second quarter as they outscored Pemberton 18-10 to regain the lead. And good to see Josh Jackson there staying aggressive on the offensive end. So the Hounds looking to enhance this lead to 10. Hopefully can get a quick bucket here and be up double figures.
Yeah, they haven't been up double figures at all in this game, Mr. Dowd, and that would definitely be something that they want to accomplish here. Leaf Lewis there standing up top of the ball, trying to make sure that this offense gets set. Looks like Coach Darling was calling a play there for the Hounds. And that's the thing Pemberton doesn't want to see is if Ezra Jones was able to make that. He was unable to convert on the 3 ball there, but when he gets hot, man, there's really no stopping him.
But again, for those just tuning in, I'm Mr. James Dowd. I'm joined by broadcasting students Mr. Kyle Forsini and Mr. Decker Morrow. We're here live at the farm. It is Tuesday, February 13th, as the Northern Burlington Greyhounds take on the Pemberton Hornets.
They just have been playing well as a team, and it's kind of what they've been doing all season. They've got guys besides Josh who can play. They've got Anthony. They got the entire starting five, plus guys off the bench who can come in at any given moment and contribute to this team. And it's just been a great season for them so far. They've really, like I said, they've played extremely well as a team. They all get along really well, and it's a joy to be out there watching them play every game, and it's certainly extremely fun to commentate on any of the games that we have an opportunity to do, as this team's going to hang around and be in any game that they play in all year.
We've actually had a really competitive winter sports season, Kyle, now that you mention it. The girls basketball team is currently at 11-11, which is a great accomplishment for them. They actually earned a spot in the state tournament after having only a 6-win season last year, and they still have a few games left. The boys bowling team, 7-13, highly competitive. The girls bowling team was 8-12. The swim team was 4-8, including some big wins versus Holy Cross. Wrestling team was 9-11, and they're currently competing in the sectionals versus Colts next week, so we wish them the best of luck. And our winter track team, highly competitive here at the farm. So just under 5.5 minutes to play. Northern in the driver's seat, 38-30, but still plenty of time to play. And Pemberton's going to look to go to Shanzay Blackman, their number one scorer, or Philip Russell, to try to make something happen here.
Yeah, Mr. Dowd, like you said, every sport team has been competitive this year for the Hounds, fall sports included. And the Hounds are going to look for the fast break there, as Ant Thomas is going to look for a feed there to Sam Irvin. It's just overthrown, and that one's going to go out of bounds. Oh, Northern's going to actually call a timeout there right before Irvin was able to go out of bounds. So they'll keep the ball. Smart play there by Coach Darling to call a timeout there right before Sam Irvin fell out of bounds. And Leaf Lewis now starting up top with the ball. Looking to get something going here for the Hounds. A good look there to find Anthony Thomas down low, and the contested layup was just no good there for Thomas. But the Hounds are able to get another offensive rebound, and Decker, although like we've been saying, they don't have height, they have gotten a lot of offensive rebounds this game, as Lewis is just off the mark there, and there's another one right there for the Hounds.
Yeah, these balls have been popped up in the air and caught by a lot of Northern's players off the shot. Also great passing, especially in this possession. That's a deep three. Make that an 11-point lead for Northern, 41-30 with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. And once you said it, once these guys start getting hot from three, you can't stop them. And that pretty much goes for the whole team.
So quick, easy basket there underneath by the Hornets, cutting this lead to 9. Josh Jackson taking over here, looking to set something up here for the Greyhounds in this great local matchup. And again, for those just tuning in, I'm Mr. James Dowd. I'm joined by broadcasting students Mr. Kyle Forsini and Mr. Decker Morrow. We are here live at the farm. It is Tuesday, February 13th, as the Northern Burlington Greyhounds take on the Pemberton Hornets. And looks like we're going to get a foul called there as Leaf Lewis looked to break up that quick, fast break.
So Pemberton will go to the line here to shoot two. But Decker, as you would say, this team gets hot from three, and they can a lot of times not be stopped when they're shooting that well. They also do a good job of knowing that they can't live or die by the three. They understand that you're not always going to make them, and they've got to try and feed guys down low and get good jumpers anywhere inside the paint or, just inside of the arc in general. They understand that the three ball isn't the only way you can get points, and they do a pretty good job of understanding that and making sure that they try and get as many open looks as they can.
Yeah, and I think that's part of why they've had such great success this season, is that they've got that high basketball IQ. Everybody on this team knows when you got to go for a three and what situations you just got to try to extend the lead with layups and easier buckets. Nobody on this team is super selfish, and they've been working together all season long to really just get to their goal of making the playoffs and potentially getting even further in it like they plan on doing this year.
So 5 seniors currently out on the floor for the Greyhounds. Ezra Jones, Khalif Lewis, Josh Jackson, Sam Irvin, Carson Johnson. They've got some height and some shooters out there now, and looks like they're going to try to get another basket here to put themselves up. Great pump fake move there by Johnson, but just couldn't get it to fall. Great defense there by the Hornets as they take over in transition.
And that was a great move there by Johnson, though. Was just able to unable to convert there. And a good look there for Lewis as he connects with a three ball. Understand that Lewis was going to have an open look from the arc. And Decker, like you said, they're an unselfish team. Jackson could have easily tried to drive that in there, try and draw a foul or convert the layup. Instead, he looked right back behind him and found Lewis standing there wide open, and he was able to make a three.
Yeah, and you know that last shot by Lewis was money. As soon as it left his hands, it looked really good. And make that another 10-point lead for Northern as they're really starting to get hot in the third quarter, pulling away from Pemberton, who started out with the lead. That's going to be a steal, breakaway. Oh, just missed layup. To try to extend the lead even more, Pemberton's going to get the ball as it went out of bounds.
And this is a team that most of these guys played together on varsity last year, and at the end of the season last year, they were getting really hot. You know, they finished with a 500 record, but at the end of the year, they were on a winning streak that extended into this year. So this is a team that's definitely gelled well in the 2 years that they've played together, and they've only gotten better. And this could be a team to look out for in the playoffs. I mean, they're certainly going to have a home game against Burlington Township, like you said, Mr. Dowd, and they were a team that, like you said, won by 2 against Burlington Township, and they also lost by 3. So it should be a good game, but you can never count the Hounds out, and that's certainly something they should be proud about.
Looks like Pemberton's going to call a timeout here to kind of cut into the momentum the Greyhounds have, currently up by 12 with just under a minute and a half to play here in the third quarter. They've been doing a great job on the offensive and defensive end here. And Pemberton's going to look to get back into this one with a 3-ball that's just off the mark. And they're going to try to muscle their way in there, but no luck. And Jackson's going to get a quick outlet there to repack. Acrobatic move, just didn't fall. And Pemberton's going to take back over here with just under 1 minute to play in the third quarter.
That was a really nice pass there by Pemberton. Make that down to a 10-point lead for Northern, but Northern's really good at, once they can get a lead, they're really good at holding it because their defense has been what's their strong suit this whole season so far. Josh Jackson going to get the easy layup, make that 2 more for Northern. 12-point lead with 37 seconds left in the third quarter.
And that play right there just shows why Josh Jackson is one of the best point guards in the league, and just another reason why, you know, he's well deserving of the spot in the North-South All-Star game that is going to be held again on March 17th at Rider University. So, you know, hats off to him. And Pemberton's going to look to score, you know, maybe a quick basket here before the end of the third quarter.
You're right, Mr. Dowd. He's a guy that can shoot from behind the arc. That's a good defensive play there by Repack. He can shoot from behind the arc, but he can also find a lane as he's fouled there shooting a three-pointer there. So he's going to get 3 shots here with just under a second to go here in this third quarter. It's going to end in any minute now, but like I was saying, he's a guy that can shoot from behind the arc, but when he finds a lane, he's not afraid to drive it, as he has done multiple times on fast breaks in this game.
And this is going to be the third quarter in a row now that Pemberton has given up easy points basically at the buzzer or with about a second left here. And, you know, Northern's just taking advantage of it now. They're up by 12. Josh Jackson's going to go to the line here, looking to shoot 3. And he's going to sink the first one. And Pemberton's really got, you know, no way to get back on the board here. I mean, basically they're going to inbound the ball and the quarter's going to be over. So these are basically just free point or free attempts here by the Greyhounds.
Yeah, they fouled the wrong guy, too. Josh Jackson, a great free throw shooter. And he's going to shoot this last one here. And like you said, Mr. Dowd, Pemberton giving up points at the buzzer in every quarter. And as soon as they inbound here, the quarter is going to be over anyway. So the Hounds going to have a big lead going into this fourth quarter. They've kind of done exactly what we said. They're kind of slow when they start off, but when they get going, man, they're tough to stop.
So we're going to enter the fourth quarter here. The Greyhounds currently in the lead, 51-36. They outscored the Hornets 16-6 there in the third quarter, and they're just going to continue to be on the offensive attack here. Repack with the three-pointer, and he's going to sink that one. So big shot there by the sophomore, increasing this lead to 18.
The Hounds are getting everybody going now as Repack, like you said, Mr. Dowd, connects from behind the arc, giving the Hounds a 3-ball there. And Pemberton really in desperation mode right now. They're going to need to sink a lot more threes to get into this game like they just did. With Zymir Davis here, the senior, to inbound the ball for the Hounds.
Full court press by Pemberton, but if Northern can break it, this will be another easy set of points for them. As that looked like what they just did. Got fouled on the way up. It's going to... I guess they're going to call that not a shooting foul, and Northern's going to just inbound the ball. But that was certainly a good try by Pemberton on the full court press. That's what you got to do down by 15 with only 7 minutes left. We're going to see if Northern can do anything to extend this lead even bigger to maybe 17 or 18. It's going to be a sloppy turnover on the inbounds pass, though, as they're going to look to hit a three and get back in this game within 12.
Yeah, Decker, you're right. I mean, Pemberton's kind of forced a full court press here, down 15. But passing will beat that press. You know, if they've got everybody pressing, if Northern's able to pass the ball well, they'll be able to beat the press as Josh Jackson beats it himself. But, you know, they'll be able to find an open man, and they'll definitely, if they're able to beat that press, they'll be able to find open shots and just keep extending their lead.
This has certainly been a great game, and it's certainly been an exciting program here on Northern TV. And you can check out Northern TV for a lot of other exciting programming, including girls basketball, our winter high school and middle school concerts, as well as our flagship show, The Northern News. We also have an informative video on FFA Week, as well as an informative video on our upcoming bond referendum vote, which is coming up this March. So Northern in the driver's seat here, up by 17. 6:19 to play here in the fourth quarter. Looks like we're going to get a quick substitution. And Pemberton's going to try to get back into this one.
Yeah, and there's 6 minutes left in this game, and Northern's already almost at their average points for on the season. And they've given up way less than their average points against. So this has just been a really good game for Northern. That's going to be they're going to call a travel on that. I thought he got fouled by at least 2 Pemberton defenders before he traveled. So Pemberton's going to get the ball back, looking to cut into this one with 6 minutes left.
And that three-pointer is going to be good there by the Hornets. We're going to get a quick timeout here, a break in the game action. Northern's in the lead, 56-42. We also have a lot of upcoming events here at the high school. We have FFA Week coming up. That's in just about a month. That is the week of February 17th. We also have our Spring Jazz Concert coming up on March 1st, as well as our annual Blue and Gray Night, which is Friday, March 9th, which has a lot of exciting events for students grades 9 through 12, as well as our upcoming bond referendum vote here at the high school. And so Northern currently in the lead here, up by 14 with under 6 minutes to play here. Zymir Davis, looks like we're going to get a travel call there, and Pemberton's going to pick back up here. Down 14 with 5:39 to play, still anybody's game, but Northern certainly in the driver's seat.
That's 3 straight possessions with a traveling violation called against them. Pemberton's going to try to close back in on this lead, now down by 14. As we've seen them shoot a little bit better, especially in this quarter from 3 than they've shot from anywhere else in the game. So they're probably going to continue shooting it as they do right there from 3. They get the offensive rebound and turn it right back over to Northern.
So some good scrappy defense there by Pemberton as they're able to intercept the pass there by Ezra Jones, and they're able to make a layup there right over Khalif Lewis. Cutting this lead now down to 12. So Pemberton's certainly not out of it. They're trying to show Northern that they can still hang around in this game, and it'll be interesting to see how the Hounds react. They kind of haven't scored in a little while. Pemberton's been able to connect on a few buckets to make this game a little bit closer, but still a lot of breathing room here for the Hounds, and at the moment nothing to worry about. So Khalif Lewis putting some moves on the defender there, and so there's going to be a foul called there on Pemberton.
So with just under 5 minutes to play here, Northern cruising in this one, up 12. But certainly we've seen Pemberton been a lot more aggressive on the defensive and offensive end here, so still anybody's game. But the Hounds really need a victory here if they want to stay in contention for the division title, as well as increase their win total, on the season. And it looks like that's going to be a quick block.
Yeah, they're going to call a foul on that one as Josh Jackson's going to find himself back at the line once more, shooting his 6th and 7th free throws of the game, I believe. he's been perfect from the line so far tonight, and he's a great free throw shooter. So these free throws have really just helped pad his stats and get him closer to that 1,000-point mark, as that one's going to be the first one he misses. Looks like I cursed him.
Well, Decker, they're shots that you should be making, and the good players will always, connect on those and make sure that they can get the free throws when they need them, as Jackson goes 1 for 2 from the line there, extending this lead to 13. Pemberton's going to be playing with, a little sense of disparity here, as they need to try and get back in this game immediately, as a good look there by Pemberton, as they're going to connect, make this now an 11-point game. Kind of like I said, Northern still does have breathing room, but it's not any time to kind of fall asleep here and let Pemberton keep calling back in this one, as Ian Thomas is going to look to get it back up to the top of the key here for the Hounds, and they'll try and set up a play.
And certainly doing a great job just kind of winding down the clock here. Time is certainly on their side, up 11. Leaf Lewis with a great spin move there. That one's going to be off the mark, but looked like he was fighting for his own rebound. Carson Johnson heads up play there, getting it, and Northern's going to retain possession. Looks like they're going to get a foul call on the Hornets with 4 minutes to play here. Northern up 57-46. Now, with a win today, Northern will go to 8-4 in the division. They're currently second in the division. They trail Bordentown, who is 8-3. And we just got a fourth score update here, as Bordentown has just lost to Willingboro. So if Northern can pull out a win here, and if Bordentown loses to Burlington Township this upcoming Saturday, Northern will actually have a share of the division title, which would be a tremendous accomplishment for the Greyhounds. They haven't won their division since the 1972-73 season. Have a chance to make history. So love to see that. 3.5 minutes to play here. Hounds in the driver's seat in this one.
Yeah, Mr. Dad, it's something they haven't done in a really long time, but it would be a great reward for these boys, as they've really been a great team. And like I've said multiple times on this broadcast, they play well together, and they really enjoy each other's company, and they put on a show for everybody that comes out to these games every time they're on the court. They always draw a good crowd, and they keep you interested in every game that they play in.
Yeah, and I think this defense is underrated and could really get this team to a deep postseason push if they can just keep playing strong offensively like they have on games like today. But really, their defense has been phenomenal, and it's been what's carried this team. So we got 3.5 minutes left. Northern's still up by 11, but Pemberton's playing hard defense on everybody.
And it looks like that's going to be a foul there on the Hornets, and Northern's going to retain possession. Now, you can check this game out on Northern TV. You can follow Northern TV on Twitter at Northern_TV. We're also on Comcast Channel 19, Verizon Channel 42. We're streaming on the web. We have our YouTube channel, and we also have our Northern TV app at appcatch.com. And you can check that out for all kinds of exciting things about Northern, DVD sales, program information, sponsorship opportunities, and much more. And it looks like Jackson's going to sink the first 1-1 to put the Hounds up 12 with 3:16 left to play here in the fourth quarter.
So he's going to make both of the line. Make that, I think, 9 points off of free throws alone today for Josh Jackson. And Northern's defense looking to make a stop. And they're going to do just that, up by 13 now with 3 minutes left to play. This one's looking pretty good, as Pemberton's going to reach in and foul again.
And I'd expect to see a lot of those reach and fouls by Pemberton here in the final minutes of this game. They know that they've got to try and steal the ball from the Hounds as much as they can. And since they're in the bonus now, the Hounds are going to be able to shoot. A 1-1 here for Carson Johnson. Let's see what he can do from the line here. So we'll see what he can do here for the Hounds. Try and put him up 14 with this free throw. Just off the mark, and Pemberton's going to be able to rebound that one. Still, though, with a 13-point lead here and just under 3 minutes to go, this one looks like it's safe for the Hounds, but this is a Pemberton team that's in scrappy all game, though, so they're definitely not going to give up anytime soon, and the Hounds are definitely going to have to earn this one.
So, Northern in the lead, 59-46. About 2.5 minutes to play. I want to take this opportunity to thank you guys for your outstanding work here on this broadcast. I want to thank our facilities department, our athletic department, our teachers and staff on hand, certainly our other production teacher, Mr. Matt Pona, our camera operators, Mr. John Doherty, Miss Kristen Palermini, Miss Carrington Corbin, Mr. Derek Brown for their work. Also want to thank our intern, Mr. Andrew Baez, doing a great job on the production. And, what better way here to celebrate my 50th game announcing for Northern TV than getting a big win here at the farm. The first game we ever produced for Northern TV was a basketball game, so I suppose it's only fitting that my 50th here is also a basketball game, as Northern looks to be in the driver's seat in this one with under 2 minutes to play here. Looking to get a big win and snap the 3-game losing streak.
Ant Thomas there going in for the contested layup. Unable to convert, but we'll go to the line now to shoot 2. Kind of his MO when he's playing is that he's going to go in for those contested layups, and if he gets hit, he's going to brush it off. He's still going to try and make the bucket. Unable to convert there, like I said, but going to the free throw line here, shoot 2.
And Northern's currently in the lead, 60-46, under 2 minutes to play, so they look like they're going to be in the driver's seat for this one. And as I said, pending a loss, Bordentown lost to Township this weekend. If Township can get that big win, Northern can get a share of the division title, which, again, would be the first division title for the Greyhounds in 45 years. So, the ball's in Township's court, so to speak, but we're certainly rooting for a good game. And it looks like that one's going to be just off the mark, but a quick putback there by the Greyhounds going to put this one up 62-46 with just over a minute to play here at the farm.
That's going to be off the mark for Pemberton, as Northern's going to get the ball back with a minute left. Up by a large chunk, as this is the biggest lead anybody's seen all game. Looks like Northern's going to be happy to take this one in and walk away with a huge win over Pemberton in a game that looked kind of scary to start with. Oh, that's going to be a turnover by Northern almost, but they're going to get the ball right back. Missed an acrobatic layup, but Pemberton's going to try to score some points right before the end of this game.
Yeah, and Decker, this was similar to the Palmyra game we did earlier in the year. A team that Northern definitely should beat, and they just kind of got off to a slow start, but were able to, reclaim their winning mentality and kind of get back into the swing of it, pull away from both teams, and in this instance they were able to kind of get right back on Pemberton as the second quarter was going on, and they really haven't let Pemberton back in this game much as we wind down here with just about 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Pemberton will go to the line and shoot 2 free throws.
So it looks like Northern's got a smaller lineup out there right now as we sort of wind down the fourth quarter, and still plenty of games left to play on the docket. And as I said, a very exciting playoff game versus Burlington Township, and that's coming up February 26th here at the farm, as well as our girls basketball team, who will be taking on Hopewell Valley on the very same night. So best of luck to both of those teams, and certainly all of our teams as they finish up the winter season. And we've got a very exciting spring season coming up. High expectations for all of our teams, as it looks like the Northern Burlington Greyhounds are going to get a big win here against the Hornets of Pemberton with just under 34 seconds to play here. So outstanding game by our boys. Imir Davis going to inbound the ball, and we're going to wind this one down here. Hounds up 15.
Yeah, with the way this game started, I didn't think we were going to pull away like we did, but I'll take the big win for Northern, as they're going to walk away probably content to not take another shot in this game and just win by 15. They're going to dribble around and let this game end.
So it looks like that's going to do it there for the Greyhounds. I want to thank you guys for your participation today. For all of us here at Northern TV, I'm Mr. James Dowd, signing off.